Welcome viewers, this is Winch here, bringing you some Battlefield 3 gameplay, Team Deathmatch with the SKS, the Heavy Barrel, and the Foregrip. In conjunction with that, I want to talk about a couple items, detailing exciting news. At least it's a relief for me. All of you guys know that on the Battlefield 4 release announcement with DICE, they did not detail a platform release date and time frame for the PlayStation 4. Got a link here to an article where basically it's not confirmed, but basically it's an unofficial confirmation that Battlefield 4 will be coming to the PlayStation 4. And obviously we already know it's going to be released on the existing consoles, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the PC platform. A lot of you say, yeah, no shit, Winshare, you should have known this, or I believe what I see, guys. The speculation from my point of view was that they didn't come out and announce this either for the PlayStation 4 announcement or the Battlefield 4 announcement. So why wasn't that announced? Until I see it in concrete proof evidence, I'm still kind of skeptical, but at least it's a reprieve for me to see that it's a strong possibility that this is going to come out for PlayStation 4. Now, all you Xbox 720 guys out there, I don't know about you, but I'd be getting pretty nervous about now. Where's your console at? Where's the system? All quiet on the Western Front. I've said this many times. I've heard rumors. Guys at Cisco saying that Xbox wants to get out of the gaming market altogether. They're just not making money on it. Again, we got a time frame here for both PlayStation 4 and Battlefield 4. If you want to play it, you better start thinking about getting a PlayStation or a PC. Now, my last video, relax guys, this is PS3 gameplay. It's not PC gameplay. Just because I'm enjoying playing PC doesn't mean all my gameplay is going to come from. Let me tell you right now, if you've seen my aim, it sucks. Yes, I know the Xbox controller sucks. No, guys, I'm not going to use a mouse. But I appreciate your comments and your suggestions. Just be grateful I'm going this far with PC. But I'm not going to cross that line with her, you know what I mean? I've got some own personal standards, and I just enjoy it too much. It just goes to my gaming core about my interface method. I can't get away from a controller. It's just, even though I suck at the game, I don't care. That's the way I prefer to play. Now, moving on, what I want to talk about in this video, it's pretty much, I'm going to leave a link both to the article I just mentioned to, and I want to leave a link to Culprit's YouTube channel. He's a great commentator. I think he deserves a lot more following than he gets credit for. But he put out a video discussing this open debate out there, which I haven't really done a good job of discussing. But the whole argument between Battlefield 4 being an evolution versus a revolution. He does a good job of explaining his point of view. He's more of the traditional concept or minded take on it that he's happy with the direction that they're just basically taking Battlefield 3 and evolving it basically with a contemporary type setup, what we're seeing now with a semi-modern type of environment, but just improving the graphics and the experience of the game, and he's basically content with the concept that the Battlefield 3.5, which was one of my concerns that I had about Battlefield 4, is that it's going to be termed Battlefield 3.5, and it's kind of going the same direction of Call of Duty in terms of just kind of reskinning itself or using a lot of its existing types of models and skins and weapons and just improving on certain aspects for making it more and bigger, basically. Now, obviously, with the introduction to the next-gen consoles, that'll also open up some new possibilities for console experience, so it'll feel like a completely different game for you guys. If having not played PC, we're pretty much going to be guaranteed to have bigger player counts, and you're going to have better graphics. So most of you guys should be pretty happy with what you see. But in terms of the overall experience, it's still going to be basically what we've seen. And again, Culprit did a real good job of explaining that. I encourage you to watch his video because he's cut some great points. It's basically a logic-sounded argument. I can't argue with really anything he's saying because it makes sense. He's basically making the argument that by not erasing the entire game and rebooting it, you basically have less risk. You're just building on what's already you already know is successful. You know it's going to make money. You know people like it, which myself included. I love Battlefield 3. Still play it today. But by making the experience just a little bit better, it's a safer bet as opposed to just rebooting it completely and putting it all on the line, you know, going maybe a complete different direction like a futuristic shooter, and putting the risk that you alienate a large group of your following and nobody likes it, it's poorly received, and it thus turns into Medal of Honor Warfighter, if I can put it bluntly. Even though you could argue Medal of Honor Warfighter was really similar to a lot of the modern shooters out there like Battlefield 3, but unfortunately, not even departing itself from a lot of the mainstream content out there, it still failed miserably because of map design, and, well, that was what Culprit mentioned too, is map design. But many other aspects, you know, like the hot, icy hot outline player scene where, you know, when you get killed by an enemy, know exactly where they're at, or seeing them on the map is just ridiculous. To me, Medal of Honor Warfighter, it kind of took the best and worst of everything, and basically, or maybe it took the worst of everything and put it all in one game. Like it had the concept of Call of Duty with having its kind of kill streak or battle point reward system, but it suffered in the Call of Duty mindset because the best of Call of Duty was its high frame rate. So it didn't have 60 frames a second, but it had 30 frames a second. Then in terms of Battlefield, it had the kind of Battlefield type weapons and the mindset, but it lacked the beautiful map design that Battlefield 3 had to offer. So again, it's kind of like it just picked and chose the worst and forgot the best, and it just turned out to be a dismal failure, unfortunately. That kind of gets into my next topic I want to talk about, in terms of, you know, incorporating. Why can't we have a game like Battlefield 4? And I know I've said this before, maybe some of you guys have heard this since I've had some new subscribers lately, but why can't we take some of the best elements of games and incorporating them into a game that works? Like Battlefield 4, you know, this is my argument, is when I'm playing a game, I like to have something to work towards. My biggest criticism of the Battlefield franchise, and most of you know I came from Call of Duty, and now I'm turned Battlefield, I came from Call of Duty turned Battlefield player now. But why can't we have a system in Battlefield that makes you work for something, that rewards you, that you feel like you're actually getting something? When I'm like PTFOing like I am in this game, getting big kill streaks, 11 kill streak, you know, capturing, if I'm playing Conquest, capturing positions or arming MCOMs, if I'm playing on a map with vehicles, let's say, and let's say I go through a 9 or 10 kill streak, I just beasted it up, got 1,000 points, whatever, combat efficiency ribbons or something like that. The only system of reward in Battlefield 3 is that gives you ribbons and medals, okay? So it gives you points, but they count for absolutely nothing in terms of your performance in the actual game. So whenever I go through a big kill streak or something like that, or just capture a bunch of objectives, and I spawn into, or I have the option to respawn, let's say in my inventory of or places I can respawn in, let's say I got a tank available in the base deployment. I've got an AC-130 right now I can spawn into. I got a helicopter, and basically I just pick and choose for one of them. But how many times have we done this where we go to spawn in a vehicle and somebody's been spawn camping it and waiting to do the same thing, that maybe they just coincidentally died, or they died and they just sat out for a minute or two waiting for that vehicle to respawn. So they spawn in it ahead of you, and you're like, you know what? That guy hasn't done anything to deserve that kind of reward. Or, consequently, if I just happen to die after doing just pathetically bad, and, oh wait, here's a tank, let me spawn in that real quick. So I get in that, and again, the game doesn't reward any kind of vehicle experience. You know, I've posted up some video about this before. Homefront, great game. Well, you know, kind of a mediocre game, but it had a great concept. Everything you do in terms of kills and capturing positions, it counted towards battle points. They call them battle points. So whenever you got enough battle points, you could purchase, so to say, a vehicle to spawn into, a helicopter or something like that. That'd be so much fun, I think, to see in Battlefield 4, in the Battlefield franchise. Now, I know a lot of you guys are critical of that, but that's just my interpretation of it. And you can work out the stuff like at the start of the map, everybody has access to vehicles like they do now, and then after that you have to work for them. You know, there's some ways you could tweak it to make it more exciting. Because let's just face it, that's a big excitement, a big draw of Call of Duty. And that's where EA and DICE are trying to go. They're trying to compete with Call of Duty. So to bring in the Call of Duty players, you got to make it a little more action-oriented, make it a little more reward-based. you got to give us that carrot at the end of the stick for a lot of these players out there, because they really thrive on that kind of positive reinforcement. They're like, if they don't feel like they have any kind of objective to work towards other than winning the match, which we all want to do, well, we want to have fun doing it too. I think it's so much fun. I mean, I remember the days, and I still reminisce about the days where I could, basically beast that thing up, kill a bunch of guys, call out a Harrier strike, or call out my big AC 130 kill streak for a few seconds. It was just an exhilarating high. It won't change the whole course of the battle. We all know, like, the AC 130 on Battlefield 3 doesn't destroy everything. Well, at least it doesn't anymore. Or a tank or something like that. I mean, there's means of dealing with it in this game. People can change their loadouts and deal with a kill streak if they need to. So that's my big argument. It's like, let's incorporate some aspects that are successful in other franchises. I know Call of Duty, dislike me now for saying it, and Homefront. And Homefront right now, isn't that kind of creepy how much that game is really coming to play in terms of real life with all this stuff going on with North Korea in the news? My goodness. They really hit the nail on the head on that outlook. Next thing I want to talk about, again, kind of going back to this debate, evolution versus revolution. My argument right now, Battlefield 3, is I've seen an evolution of the game. I played it for 2 years. I played almost 900 hours of gameplay on the PlayStation 3. And then the evolution I will argue that I've seen is the 5, I may say it again, 5 DLCs that were released after the main game. Everything from Back to Karkin, Close Quarters, Armored Kill, Aftermath, In-Game. Did I miss one? I don't know. I mean, that was an incredible progression. I've never seen that ever in a game where it's supported for 2 years after release. I mean, honestly, that's never happened before. Developers typically don't do that. And I really applaud DICE for doing that. And EA, and give them some credit now, guys. That they supported this game for 2 years. That in every map pack, we either got weapons. I mean, with Close Quarters, we get like 12 weapons and 4 maps. Armored Kill, we got a whole different set of vehicles. We got 4 new maps. Consistently, we always had new maps. I mean, how many maps do we have to choose from? My goodness. It's almost bad sometimes, because whenever I try to play on PC, it's one of the big criticisms I have. Trying to find a server that has players in it is pretty darn hard. I don't know what that's all about, guys, but maybe we have too many maps in this game, because there's so many players spread out across a large base. If you want to play one map in particular, what's up, John? I saw that teabagging, buddy. If there's so many players playing on so many maps, I mean, that kind of disperses it a little bit too. I think on PC the player count's much more limited compared to console. But anyway, I've seen an evolution of Battlefield 3. The new weapons, maps, I don't want to see that again in, quote, Battlefield 4 for another 2 years with more maps being released on the premium. Now, I'm being maybe we'll see some things different in Battlefield 4. I'm really hoping we will. Maybe they'll incorporate some stuff we haven't seen. Some drone strikes would be cool. A UAV type thing. Again, I would just like to see some positive reinforcement. But this argument that we just see a gradual progression of the Battlefield franchise from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4, I really don't know if you can call it Battlefield 4 from what I've seen, because I know the graphics are going to be better, but based on that trailer that I saw, the graphics are better, but we all kind of expected that. With games like Crysis 3 that I played, we all expect graphics to be good. There's no question they're going to be better than Battlefield 3, but they looked really a lot similar to what I've already seen, other than the explosions and skins, reload animations, weapons, sounds. So we'll see how it goes, but those are my concerns. What do you guys think? Light me up with the comments. Would you like to see a reward type system in there? I think it's a good progression in the series. It offers some alternative to the gameplay. Think outside the box a little bit. But tell me what you think. Hope you guys like that video as we turn the beast mode on. We'll go at him with 50 and 5, something like that, with a kill right there at the end, of course. M5K, you gotta love it. But thanks for watching, and I'll have more content come, both on PS3 and PC, and I appreciate all your support.